bunch of helpful shorts. One on the scrub a wash bag so you can wash your clothes in the middle of the wilderness. I've used it dozens of times. It really helps extend your ability to get out there. Also, the Goal Zero Venture 35, the perfect all weather charger for your phone and your other electronics like a GoPro camera. My new favorite, all-weather Gorilla Tape, which resists cracking, drying, fading, and peeling in heat, cold, moisture, and sunlight. Lastly, a little favorite that I have, it's called the Horse-Powered Duck. It's a little rechargeable mini vacuum where you can clean up your tent, clean up your mess on the trail, or at home. Get those cookie crumbs. So, basically, I'd like you to check out those shorts. If you do, you'll find them helpful. And also, if you like them, please subscribe. I am trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers today. And I'm at about 960, so I appreciate any help. Anybody who's watching this video, if you can subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I'm nearing some milestones that'll allow me to do more with the channel, and one of them is 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate all my subscribers, and I'll try and put out helpful content on gear tips, on survival tips, on mystery shops, on food, on adventures, and to have interesting live chats. Right now, the Buffalo Bills game is going on. I think it was halftime, so I'm trying to do some live streaming. Again, this is the My Camping Adventures channel. I appreciate you guys hanging out, trying to have live chats for all my subscribers, as long as you keep it cordial, and we can talk about a bunch of stuff. Right now, what I'd like to do is just field some questions on camping or survival or gear and learn where you guys are from. So if anybody wants to hop on the stream and join the chat. Hey, how you doing? If you can subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers today. I'm at 960. Hey, Gaben Barnett, hi. TB Guy Viper, hi. Mohammed Siddig, hi, sir. For a living, trying to help people out with technology. And also, I've worked at a camping and outdoor gear store before as well. This is the My Camping Adventures channel. If you can help me out, I'm at about 960 subscribers. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 today. There's certain benefits with 1,000, like better live streaming, that I can capitalize to do more with the channel. Anyway, I'm here to, if you guys have any questions on gear, camping, survival, food in general, want to share where you're from, want to cordially chat with other members, I'm here. Anyway, I'm on a big push right now to have extra supplies with you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, here's the thing. I used to read survival books, and now I'm doing a lot of survival streaming online, and I kind of miss not reading books. Hello, sir. If you can subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I want to share some survival tips with you. Number one, when you go out in the woods, you should have certain gear with you. First of all, you should have a nice knife that you can cut things with, like if you're fishing or you have to cut cordage. You should always carry paracord with you. You should have a pot or a cup or a pan where you can basically boil water. You should have very easily to eat long-term food such as granola bars, trail mix, freeze-dried food if you have a camp stove. You should have a tarp at least. You should have a space blanket. You should have a first aid kit. You should have the appropriate gear. You should have a waterproof layer. So basically, Whenever you go out in the woods, whether it's 100 yards or 100 miles, you should go properly prepared. You can trip and fall 100 yards from the trailhead, and you're in trouble. Well, that's a very good question. Actually, subdicial, I am not very political. I basically am a supporter of people. I don't believe in collectivism. I believe in individual rights. But the guy supports in heaven. So anyway, to answer your question, the best thing to do to know what plants are safe to eat and to identify them is basically get a guidebook for your local area. Find out who the experts are in your area, because plants that I know in my area may not exist in your area, and just reading from a field guide can still cause you problems in the woods. So there's no better experience than to start out by identifying a few common, easy to eat plants or foods in your area. For example, in my area would be blackberries and raspberries in the summer. There are these things that really are wild onions, and you could tell them from the fake, they're called leeks. You can tell them from the fake leek that's poisonous, because the fake leek does not have the onion smell, when the actual onion has the smell. There's the common dandelion. You can make dandelion salad from that. You can make dandelion punch from that. There's cattails. Cattails are edible. You can eat the spike like corn in the summer, and if you pull it out, the roots and the stalks are very starchy and good for you to eat. Those are all things that are safe. I tend to avoid mushrooms and legumes, although there are a few types of mushrooms that are safe to eat and very easily identifiable if you know what you're doing. But my recommendation is to get a guidebook for your area, talk to a local expert, maybe sign up for a class, go out in the field. Start by identifying three very easy plant sources. For example, you're going to know if an acorn falls from the tree, that's edible, but how do you treat the acorn? You basically got to get the tannic acid out of it. So what you do is you generally take a rock, you break the nut open, you take out the meat inside. I'd tie it in a bandana, and you continuously soak it and boil it in water until all the tannins are leached out of it. Then you compound it with a rock. You could bake it, and then you can make like a meal out of it, like a cornmeal or oatmeal cake. It's very good to eat, but it takes time to prepare. If you eat them straight up without leaching all the tannic acid out of them, they're very bitter, and they could upset your stomach. Well, Azabik, that's a very, very good question. And there's a lot of channels covering a lot of aspects on that. I do have to say that I think that they knew the winds were coming. It's a good question why the hydrants didn't work. There's a lot of questions there. Let's just say poor planning leads to a poor outcome. And it's a horrible thing whether you look at the people in North Carolina who got hit by the hurricane, the people in Florida that got hit by the hurricane, the people that are going through the polar vortex, or the poor people in the fire in California. The one common denominator there is I read a story about one guy who prepared, had his own fire hoses, had his own gear, because he kind of felt it was coming. He was sort of a prepper. He's also a brain surgeon. Him and his son and a neighbor fought the fires off themselves for 3 days and saved 6 houses in their neighborhood. Unfortunately, there's an attitude that Big Brother's going to come and rescue you. Well, Big Brother's usually taking care of himself, and you're SOL. That's why I push for people to be prepared in advance. I have so many friends who say, gee, we'll just come over to your house if anything happens. Well, first of all, I'm on a budget like everybody else. I don't have enough for them. I probably don't have enough for us. But I can see the wisdom having some extra supplies and some knowledge. Yes, my ancestry is Sicily and Czechoslovakian. My dad came over with his family, a Sicilian family. They had 7 brothers and 3 sisters. He fought in World War II in the 82nd Airborne, was injured in Anzio, was captured in Italy, put up by the Italians for 39 days. They fed him spaghetti, then surrendered to him when the Americans came. And he lived till 92. But I'll tell you, all of what they went through is so magnified by the internet right now. We're all so distracted. People won't know what to do when the power goes out, because they won't be able to Google what to do on their iPhones. What I'm suggesting is you get an actual book on survival and camping. You actually go out there to your ability and experience nature and do it in the right way. I am actually in northwestern Pennsylvania right now, Cushy, and I talked to a lot of nice people from India. I think, is there an Indian dish called kilsh? Is it like milk ice cream? And I'm still craving Indian butter chicken. Sorry you got hit by a branch today. I've had that happen before. A lot of times when you're hiking in a group, or in Saki's cases when he was probably skiing, it's very hard to avoid branches. I've been hit before because the person in front of me hiking in a group moves a branch out of their way with their hands, fails to tell the person behind them that there's a branch, and then it springs back because you don't see it and whacks you right in the face, and you could get injured. I always try and wear eye protection when I'm hiking, sunglasses, with a polycarbonate rating. It can save your eye. In addition, a lot of people, like I always get whacked. I got whacked in a branch when I was e-biking this summer in Philemon. There's no way I can avoid it. I ducked, it hit me in the helmet. Luckily, I had more force behind me than the branch. I am 58, yes. I am 58 and a half. It's kind of nice having Sakius in the chat, because he can pretty much answer all the questions before I have to squint and see him. That's the one problem with being 58, is that I have to use cheaters a lot, and I don't like using them live streaming because they're only good for up close. Peely Squad, how you doing? I'm actually baking a ricotta pie right now. I might do a short on that later. It's in the oven, and the timer just went off, and gotta let it sit for another 10 minutes. And it's a very nice Italian dessert called ricotta pie. And basically, it consists of a pound of ricotta cheese, a half cup of sugar, 3 whole eggs, and 2 egg whites mixed together, a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract. I put 2 in, and I put some lemon crystals in the mix too. And then you blend that all together, and you put it in your pie crust. It should be a sweeter pie crust. I cheat and use ready-made. And then you put it in an oven for an hour and 10 minutes at 350 degrees. So when you put it in the oven for 350 minutes, for an hour and 10 minutes, you also put a pan of water underneath so there's moisture. And then you turn the oven off for 10 minutes. You turn the oven off for 10 minutes, and then you let it sit for 10 minutes without any heat on it. And then you can take your pie off. So basically, after you bake it for an hour and 10 minutes, you turn the oven off, let it sit and get moist, and it's really, really good. You can eat it for breakfast, you can eat it for lunch, you can eat it for dinner. So, anyway, while I'm not working today, I'm trying to live stream, hopefully get up to 1,000 subscribers. Another thing I want to share about going outdoors and having skills, knowing how to start a fire, knowing how to ski, snowshoe, how to dress properly in different climates, it's only going to benefit you in your everyday life. Hey, George W. Bush. It's going well now. Can't believe I have a Bush in my chat. Anyway, if you can subscribe, George W., I'd appreciate it. And old joke, not still the W off my typewriter. Anyway, yeah, this is the My Camping Adventures channel, and I am live streaming today, trying to get my subscribers up. So any questions on outdoor camping, survival, gear, if you want to share any adventures you had where you are, you're welcome to in the chat. Peely Squad, huh? That's an interesting handle there. Yeah. I try and, how can I say? I have my own personal beliefs, but I try and stay neutral on the whole political thing in terms of my comments. Obviously, I'm for us. I'm for everybody who gets up, goes to work, goes to school, comes home, tries to be a good person and help their fellow man. That's who I'm for. So anyway, again, this is the My Camping Adventures channel. I'm live streaming today to try and get my subscribers up. If you guys could like, click, share, and subscribe, that'd be great. And I want to share a couple of practical tips. Like, let's say you're out in the woods in a stream and you're hungry, okay? Yeah, I don't think so. Basically, what you do is when you go in the stream, you think it's full of fish, but it's really not. I'm amazed whenever I go outdoors, actually how hard it is to find wildlife. You know, they say food's your last priority because you got 3 minutes of air. You got 3 hours in the elements before you get hypothermic. You got 3 days supposedly without water and 3 weeks without food. But let me tell you, when I go in the woods, the first thought in my mind is always, where's the food if I need to eat? Okay, because I got stuff to purify water. I always know where the water is. I have the right clothes on, and I have ways to keep warm, so I'm probably not going to get hypothermic or too hot or too cold. And I'm breathing. But I'm always concerned about where's the food. Well, if you go into a stream, okay, and this is in a survival situation, obey all laws, okay, unless it's truly a survival situation, what you could do is create like a weir. You can put stones in the stream to kind of block the channel for where the fish will go. And then you can guide those fish to a certain location in the stream. And once those fish are in a contained area, you then could create and carve a spear out of a stick and harden it in the fire. And then you can stab those fish. Or if you have cordage and you have a couple of hooks with you, you can get like a grub or something and put it in the stream and tie it off and fish like that. And once you get a fish, you can cook it by the fire. But it actually takes about 10 trout a day to give you enough calories in an outdoor survival situation. And you're probably going to be fortunate to get one or two. So you always got to have extra food with you, have a plan, know your surroundings. There's a lot of food sources like berries and cattails and stuff if you know what you're doing in my area. But they're all seasonal, and you can never count on any one of them. So always have a plan in your head about where you can get food in a survival situation. George W. Bush, I've been camping all my life. I remember 8 years old, me walking up a mountain road in the forest with my first knife, a little dime store Bowie knockoff, my G.I. Joe sleeping bag, my Army helmet, plastic, and a flashlight from Kmart, a blast from the past, wrapped with electrical tape to camouflage it. My rations back then were peanut butter and jelly Pop-Tarts and root beer. And at the time, I pretty much felt that I was going into the deep, dark woods when I was probably walking a quarter or a half mile up a mountain road and sitting by some trees. Now, 50 years later, I'm doing the same thing, just with better gear. But it's harder now because got a full-time job, got a family, and all the other stuff that's going on in this world. Yes, squirrel, please subscribe. Check out my short on Everybody Needs a Compass. I have a small plastic green Lanzatic compass. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, here's the problem. And I've experienced this, and it's really weird. All of our legs, one of our legs is just a tad shorter than the other. So if you're walking in the woods and you have no bearing from there, like a landmark you're walking towards, or you know where a road is, and what the landmarks are to get to that road, or the sun, or the stars, or the moon, and don't know what you're doing, you don't know what direction you are, you will walk in a circle. You will get lost, and it'll be a bad situation. And don't count on your cell phone to work out there. I have a Spot global GPS system that I could use if needed. But generally, rely on yourself and your wits and your knowledge and learn. And basically what you do is you take your compass and you sight a landmark in the direction you want to go. Like, for example, if you're going the road south and you're hiking in west, you know you got to come out east and you're going to hit that road. You're going to intersect that road. But you want to do that in a way that you come out where you know which side your car's on. So what you do is you do an offset with your compass by maybe 5 or 10 degrees in a certain direction, and you know you then got to walk north to your car because you're going to come out in front of it. So a little plastic green compass can help with all of that and keep you in a straight line, keep you getting to where you want to go, and keep you from getting lost. Hello, Nelson, Brazil. Good night. Hey, Nelson Francisco, if you could please subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Hey, my scariest camping experience, Zacchaeus, well, I've had a few. I've been lost for an entire day at Oil Creek State Park just because I made a rookie mistake back in the day where you walk in, but you don't look behind you to see what the trail looks like coming out. And I missed 1 or 2 markers. It was cloudy. Didn't have my compass. No way to take bearings. Well, at about 10 o'clock when I finally got out of the woods and got to my car, it was pretty much wanted to hug the parking lot. But my true scariest outdoor experience, and you'll relate to this, Zacchaeus, is a couple of years ago I got into hot tent camping. Okay, I got into hot tent camping, and I got a TP hot tent and a titanium hot stove, and I put it up in my yard and tested it and did all I had to do. But then I ended up deciding to go on a Thursday instead of a Friday, get some extra time, an extra night for all that work, and the weather was supposed to be in the 20s. And I drove 60 some miles to my campsite, and a blizzard hit when I got there, or had been hitting there. It was 14 degrees, probably 4 with the wind chill. And I wasn't going to sleep in my car 67 miles away. I wasn't going to drive back in the blizzard. I had all the proper gear and the know-how, but I got to my campsite, and it was a 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice on the ground. I couldn't even get the stakes in. So I had to take my hatchet in 14 degrees in a blizzard and chop holes into the ground to get my TP tent up, which I did. And then I had to put my titanium camp stove together, which I did. And it was a pain in the neck to get the stovepipe, which was lightweight titanium, to stay with 3 guy outs. Finally did that and got my cot and gear inside and was able to light the stove, get the inside of the TP tent to 70 or 80 degrees, and I survived the night, and the weather improved the next day. That was the closest I've ever come to like having a really bad time and possibly expiring. Good to see you, Adam. Hey, D-Now, if you can subscribe, please let me know. Or please do. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. If you can hold on a second. Can you take the ricotta pie out of the oven? I'm making a ricotta pie. Well, it's going good, Adam, because you're here, and Zacchaeus is here. It's a Sunday, though, and, well, at least till Monday through Friday. So basically, I'm trying to make the most of my Sunday, and did all the errands I had to do. If you look at my other live stream, kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, trying to live stream, build up the subscribers on my channel to 1,000 so that I can have more privileges on YouTube and do more with the channel. And appreciate all you guys and just having a good chat. Have you guys ever heard of an Indian throwing stick? An Indian throwing stick is something about the width and the thickness of your arm, and basically carved smooth with a little bit of a taper at each end and a hardwood. And basically you can use an Indian throwing stick to take out a rabbit in a survival situation and have food. Now, I have practiced with one and got good at throwing at about 20 feet. You don't want to just, ooh, I'm going to throw my knife at the thing and break your knife or lose it. You can also take your knife, if you have a proper survival knife, and make a spear, but really it's kind of hard getting closer than about 15 feet to an animal. The odd thing is, hello, Official Rancher, if you can subscribe, I'd appreciate it. The hard thing is finding them in the woods. Oddly, where I go, there's grouse. There seems to be grouse everywhere. They'll hide, and you won't know where they are, and they'll pop out right in front of you and scare the bejeebies out of you. But I had a friend who, whenever we went hiking, he was famous for scaring up grouse. He'd be walking and talking, and the next thing, he'd be jumping because a grouse popped up in front of him. So anyway, I appreciate all you guys on this Sunday. Just wanted to do another live chat. Now I can't speak Arabic. I speak some Spanish. Quanta di Bono, what time is it? Que horas? Or no, que horas is what time is it. Quanta di Bono is where's the bathroom. But, yeah, you know what? Thank you, Zacchaeus. I definitely, if Zacchaeus is as useful to his parents as he is to this channel, I'll tell you, he's a good guy. I have a friend in Finland, I think, and he likes pizza, and he's by choice, he's kind of in a rural area. But anyway, you know, it's been a long 58 years. It's been a long 58 years, and I got a lot of experience. And to be honest with you, my wife said to me one day, oh, you guys, you should start your own channel and film yourself. People would watch you. Some of the stuff that I've gotten into, and I've had no camera, just crazy. I remember doing a creek walk and having a beaver swim right between my legs. That was kind of funny. And then we were looking for crawfish, and every rock you'd turn up, you'd find a larger crawfish than the other. So I've had a lot of good times, a lot of good experiences, and I'm going to start sharing them in my everyday life. You know, welcome to the Poor Man's Truman Show. And, you know, we're all better together than we are apart, okay? I've had people reach out to my channel and say thank you for doing your adventures and showing us this. I think the short I'm most amazed of was the one that I did where I just filmed plants in front of my house that had cupped water in a rainstorm to show people there's so many ways to find potable water in the woods or in an emergency situation. And it got so many views. Or the one I did on my silky saw. Or the one I did where I was actually having fun in my Jeep and driving through a 30-inch water puddle and went with the little kid in me and did it again. I am going to go check on my ricotta pie right now because that's probably going to be my dessert tonight. I strongly advise you, if you like Italian desserts, to look up the recipe online and try it yourself. You could eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner. I could eat it all day long. This is the My Camping Adventures channel. Shout out to my friend Zacchaeus and all my new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Please like, click, share, subscribe, and be safe out there.